Well, in addition to the talks with Beijing, Sir Keir Starmer says that discussions are ongoing with the United States, and this is over that controversial deal to hand the Chagos Islands to Mauritius. And there are now significant concerns that the US could withdraw support for the agreement, with President Trump attacking the plan and doing what he does and taking to Truth Social. And he did say that the UK giving away extremely important land is an act of great stupidity and is another in a very long line of national security reasons why Greenland has to be acquired. Adrian, can you just explain to our viewers what this all means?
Yeah, look, I wish could have an hour to speak about this, because I've followed this for very many decades. The Chagos Islands were ceded to Britain in 1814, and what the British government did disgracefully in the late 60s was forcibly remove 10,000 Chagosians, some to Mauritius, some to Seychelles, some to the UK, and have unilaterally, really on the basis of a very vested interest-driven United Nations court judgment, decided to hand back these islands to Mauritius, which never had any part of the islands. And there's three main things on this, Jamie. There's one is the security of the UK base, Diego Garcia base, which is very important for United States aircraft and various other things. There is one of the world's largest marine conservation areas, which is under threat. But also, most fundamentally, is the rights of the Chagosian Islanders themselves. They have not been consulted at all about this rotten deal. And I think this is just a very, very wrong deal.
And just talk to us about Trump's concern about Mauritius being linked to China and now making this quite vulnerable if the island is handed to them.
Yeah, the deal was to give, hand it to Mauritius, and by the way, pay Mauritius £34 billion for the privilege, which is just unheard of. It's like, and then leasing back the Diego Garcia military base. But it creates all sorts of uncertainties. What could happen to the outer islands? Could China or other islands or other nations put bases on these outer islands? It's a very insecure deal. And it looks like Trump has finally sort of woken up and said, this is an utterly stupid idea. And as I said, there are certain things that's right and wrong. This is a very wrong deal.
And there's a new sheriff in town, at least. That's what Leila Cunningham has been telling Londoners. She's put her hand up to run for London Mayor in 2028 for Reform UK. She says that she's fed up with the crime spiral. Let's take a listen.
If I'm mayor, there will be visible policing. There will be a zero tolerance approach, because even if you shoplift a £20 piece of steak, that's corrosive to the community. There will be consequences. You know what there'll be? There'll be a new sheriff in town.
It looks like she means business, Adrian. What's the response been?
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people won't know of her, but I do. She's a very powerful orator. She can debate anyone. I've seen some strong politicians meekly sort of under her sort of a tirade of facts. And I think that the fact is that London, and a lot of Australians are even leaving London. It's become a crime-ridden city. You've got a mayor who is absolutely useless, who's more concerned with gender ideology and racism on anything, and climate change and net zero policies than policing our streets and making it a safe city. So she's got a good chance. And I think most people in the UK would really do hope that at least Sadiq Khan gets booted into touch, and we get someone who's going to put Londoners and the country first.
And what do you make about the Tory defections over to Reform UK? We obviously get some headlines here, but what's the narrative like over in the UK about this?
Yeah, they get some high-profile figures, Robert Jenrick, former Justice Secretary, and many other cabinet ministers coming over. There is a steady trickle from Conservative to Reform. Now, the critics will say that this is clearing out the dead wood from the Conservatives. The issue is the Conservative Party is really has long drifted to sort of the more progressive left, the Liberal Democrat side. So I think there's going to be more and more coming. It depends whether the leader of the Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch, can really, she speaks a good word, but it's just whether the whole system in the party is very endemic with this sort of centrist rule of a centrist view of the world.
Yeah, it's fascinating to watch it, I must say. I will leave it there, Adrian. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.